Hey everyone, it's Sally again for another Magic Micro Moment. And today I'm super excited to be sitting down and having a chat with Brandon Drake. Brandon's in Laguna Beach, LA, and he's given up some time to come and have a chat with us. So welcome, Brandon. Thank you very much for coming on.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, so here's just a short little bio introducing you. You've got a colourful background in technology, culinary arts, and functional nutrition. And you got an opportunity to work with an amazing company that you couldn't turn down. So you changed careers from food and nutrition to technology. So now you're helping e-commerce companies ensure their marketing strategies and websites align with evolving data privacy regulations around the world to avoid fines and further strengthen customer trust and loyalty. So you are the tech sales development at Dataships. So wow, this sounds very interesting, something you couldn't turn down and you had to run after. Tell us a little about who you are, what you're doing now, and where you've come from.
I never expected where I'm at now. I never would have thought I'd be in that position because I actually started off in computers, but I was more like a person that was at the desk and programming and doing database development. And I knew this is not something that I want to do forever. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, like I was trying to figure it out. And I just basically said, you know what, I'm into health and nutrition. I might as well do something like that eventually. So finally, I actually quit my job. I had a plan already. I didn't quit without a plan. I quit my job. I moved to San Francisco, Northern California, and I enrolled into a school. And it was called Natural Chef Program. So basically learning how to cook for people based on their health conditions. So it was actually really fun and really interesting because, I did it because I wanted to learn how to even strengthen my foundation in nutrition and culinary arts. Just for myself, even if I wanted to do it as a business, but I think it was good for myself in general. I think everybody should learn how to cook for themselves in a way that's healthy and tasty at the same time. Because it nourishes you so you could be the best person that you could be in a professional level or with your family, both ways. So I took it as both a great benefit for me to do. I invested in myself to be a better person. And so after I got through that, I actually started my own, my own practice where I either cook for people or I coach people, but my target market was people with metabolic disorders, so diabetes and heart attack, heart issues or whatnot, high blood pressure, because that was something that ran in my family. And I was really devoted to making sure that other people didn't have to go through those issues. And also too, for me not to go through those issues as I got older. So I was being really proactive. And what happened was I actually wanted to get better at sales and marketing. I was really, I felt that was my weakness, and it's all about identifying what your weaknesses are and strengthening it, especially if you're on your own, having your own business. You really have to cover up those weaknesses. And so I took a 6-month intensive. I did really well. Out of like 20 people, five people got through. And I didn't expect this, but the administration came up to us and were like, hey, we have some tech companies that would like to interview you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I have a business already and I have no pressure. I did really well. I got a couple job offers, and one of them I just couldn't resist. Like, the people were really good, the job is really good, and I never would have thought in my wildest dream that I would be going back in technology. But now it was in a different form where I was in the sales and marketing team. So now I was no longer like doing all the programming and all the techie stuff. I was maybe more being able to take my tech knowledge and communicate it with people in a clear manner, so that we could actually help them with their issues and their problems when it comes to data privacy and making sure their websites are compliant with data privacy laws. So it's kind of good that I have all those skill sets to become the person that I am today. Like, I came full circle, and there's something that I never would have thought I'd do, because when I first started in the workforce, I never liked picking up the phone. I was always like programming, to myself or whatever. I still like talking to people, but on a professional level, I didn't like picking up the phone. Now I'm picking up the phone all the time. I'm on HMP. I'm doing presentations. Like, I've come full circle from being a person that was not trying to talk to a person that loves talking and connecting with people. So yeah, I've progressed, and that's a good thing. Like, we all should be changing as we get more mature. I don't call it aging. I say more mature and smarter.
I love that. More mature and smarter. You goosebumps with your story and just your enthusiasm, because life is a journey, right? And it's, as we all know, it's not the destination, it's the journey along the way. And we never know. Every day I wake up and I think, I wonder what today is going to bring and where I'm going to go, and your life is showcasing that for you. It's just a completely unknown. And as you said, you've done this 360. It's incredible. But
Yeah,
you just grown and learned from that. So everything happens for a reason, right? So you did all of that,
everything happens for a reason. Mhm.
and it's
And
about,
the thing is, I've made a lot of sacrifices too, like, like relationships and giving stuff, a lot of things up just to go where I wanted to go eventually. And I didn't even know where I wanted to go, but I know I didn't want to be where I was currently at.
I love that. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of us can relate to that. I don't want to be here, but I don't really know what I want. I just know I
Yeah.
don't
It
want
was very frustrating
yeah,
to
yeah,
be honest, not to have that direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when did this sort of turn around, this tech stuff, and the sales and marketing morph into the job? So how long have you been now with the data ships?
Yeah, I've been there since I believe the beginning of September.
Oh, it's so
Um,
really new. I know
yeah,
it's
yeah,
recent.
really fairly new to it. And it's very gratifying because like I'm responsible for generating business for our company, for talking to small and medium-sized businesses and sell them on that they actually need a solution that could actually help them
Yeah,
in their e-commerce situation, meaning e-commerce, they're basically sell a product or service online that people could purchase online.
yeah,
And so I'm always talking to marketing people in the company, or e-commerce people, or
yeah,
executives. And it doesn't really matter. Like I'm trying to talk to everybody to see how they're dealing with their problems. And if they don't have a solution, we give them a free consultation and we just go from there. It's not like a hard sell, like a sneaky salesperson
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
sell anything to anybody. No, it's like more, I do a lot of research and to see what systems are using to see if we could actually give them actual help. So yeah. And it's really just trying to communicate your message to them in a clear manner that they do understand. And I like that part. I always like teaching and helping people or whatever. And so now this is a job where I'm teaching people. It's not, I don't see it as selling. I see it as teaching people to see how we could help solve their problems so that they could streamline their business and create more customer trust and create more profit for their business. And so they don't have to worry about the things that they don't care about, because a lot of business owners don't want to have to deal with compliance
yeah,
because it could be very cumbersome task, because there's data privacy laws in different countries and different states, and it's very
Oh,
confusing.
yeah,
So we want that business owner to focus on their business and what they specialize in, because that's what they went to business for. They didn't go into business to learn about data privacy compliance and
yeah.
making sure that they're doing everything appropriately with their customers. They don't care about that. Most of them don't. Some of them, very minority of them do care, but most don't.
100%. And I'm a big advocate for saying outsource the 90% of stuff that you're not good at, or you don't have the expertise
Yeah.
for, and focus on the 10%. So you can do a good job at what you're really good at and give it to the professionals, the ones that, like yourself, that can deal with this data privacy stuff. And as you said, it's always changing and evolving. And for me, it would be a like total
It'd be
headache.
a headache. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And if a person tried to do everything, they wouldn't make that much progress if they try to learn some new topic while they're running their business. It's just not scalable for them.
Yeah,
So, so yeah.
well, it's going to thwart your business. So that just leads into my next question, actually. Just with all of the changes you've been having in your life, particularly in the last couple of years, what is the superpower? Why are people drawn to you? Because it's got to be this turnaround in you with your communication, your connection with people. What is it that you think is your essence, or why are people like going, yeah, Brandon's my dude?
Yeah, I guess the one thing that I noticed in myself, that no matter like how hard or challenging something is, that I keep like I guess the one word that really comes out is exuberance, and always energized and excited.
Yeah.
No matter if I get turned down, it doesn't matter. I try to keep the same attitude as I go through the day, because we're all going to go through ups and downs through the day and through the week or whatnot. And so I always say, oh, you know what, if it's bad, I know it's going to get better. I'm not really tripping. And then I go to HMP or I go talk to people and that energizes me.
Yeah.
And that's what I do for my job. So that's why it keeps me energized. Even if people are mean and they just hang up on me, that's fine. Like I see it as a funny experience and I move on, and I can't wait for the unknown again to talk to somebody. Like that's just a small part of my job, you know, like a lot of times I'm doing researching, prospecting, doing networking meetings or whatnot. But all the constant that really energizes me is really connecting with people and talking to people and listening to see what they're doing as well, because it does inspire you as well. So I guess that exuberance and staying excited and energized. And what helps me through that is, you know, because I have a background in also to nutrition and culinary arts, the food that I consume allows me to be energized and exuberant and ready to go for the day. You know, like I like that I've created that good foundation for me to be the most productive person that I could be in personal life and in work life, you know?
Yeah. You're talking my language. Like my company is called Holistically Fit because it's the whole package, right? It's not just one.
Correct.
thing. And so what you eat, it helps what you think, how you feel, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
It's all
yes. Like you, I take the whole package into consideration. Like the eating, the sleeping, the when you go to sleep, the timing of when you eat. There's so many different things that you could do for yourself to improve. There's no just one thing. Yeah. And when I get old, I want this to be working sharply when I get old. That's like my goal. And I'm working towards that. Yeah.
I love it. We're so speaking the same language. Totally.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to talk to you more and get to know you even after this, because I knew you were a person that was into the holistic type of lifestyle. And I could talk on and on about that.
Yeah. Talking my language. So, because I met you through H&P only last year because that's when we launched into Australia. And I knew a little bit about your story about having a turnaround, but you know, it's the whole package that I'm just drawn to. And I can see that is your superpower. It's amazing. Now, one thing you were saying about trust. Oh, you know, part of your thing is, teaching people, you know, and how they can create their stuff, but having to trust you, you know, like trust is a big thing, particularly in corporate. How do you work with that?
Yeah. How do we work with that? You know, I mean, you can't earn trust like on the first interaction with somebody. It's, you know, a lot of times with our customers, we have maybe like a couple meetings before they really get to know us. And in the beginning, we're really just getting to know them and understanding them as a person and their business. And being like really a active listener is the most key thing that you could do. And I don't spend time talking about all the great things we could do for somebody until I truly get to know them first. So it's more like a lot of listening in the beginning before because it's a really turn off. I've been to different networking meetings or one-on-ones, and people talk about how great this is and that is and that is. And I'm like, that's great. But like, can you ask questions about me to see if it's a right fit for me first? Like that's what I do when I first get on a call with somebody. You know, I do my research first. I ask them questions. Hey, I noticed that you use this platform and that you do marketing in the EU, in the UK, in Canada, the United States. How do you deal with data privacy in all those different locations that you market to? Because it could be a very cumbersome task. And, you know, it's asking questions and then them spitting it out, splurging it out to me so that I could see if it's something that we could help them with. So I never lead with, oh, we're the greatest. We could do this, we could do that. It's more like, I want to know you. And that's just like, I think that's just a basic human thing too, to ask questions, even outside of business, to people as you get to know them. You're not talking about yourself all the time, because even if I'm sure you've met people that just love talking about themselves. It's like, man, all right already, like, come on, like, can you ask about me a little bit? Can we have a constant exchange of, you know, one go after the other instead of like all you. It's the same thing. Like, it's common courtesy in business and in personal life. So I take that, I try to take that translate it into my business life, but it comes natural because I don't know, I guess I was raised like that to do that as well.
To say, it speaks volumes about you as a person, right? So, and your values and what's important and that sort of stuff. Because I just brought up that question because in sales, right, it's salesy stuff, and you know, you don't used car salesman or, you know, the real estate agent or whatever, not having to go at them, but you know, in their technique or the way it's sort of we think about it, because active listening. That's so important because, you know, that's how you learn. You can't learn when you're speaking, right? So you have to,
Yeah.
and you know, and so that people resonate towards you when you have that exchange where it's an equal exchange of like information and then receiving and then hearing. And yeah, so
Mhm.
you know, I really like it. And as I said, it says a lot about you as a person. And yeah, because you're holistic and I love you, that's why. The respect coach. So with your clients, what do you think is their biggest issue these days?
The biggest issue is a lot of the clients that we've been getting lately are the clients that are moving into a new territory or expanding.
Yeah, right.
So when they expand to a new state, usually a new country, they, you know, they're not experts. They're not aware of the current environment in which the data privacy laws are being executed or whatnot. And so, you know, and also too, if they're expanding into a new country and then they're already dealing with many other countries that they're catering to or marketing to, that just adds another piece of a headache when it comes to data privacy.
Yeah.
So that's where we come into place, where we have our experts, we call them our compliance experts, but also too, we have our, I guess, our proprietary cloud software that is always being updated with all the data privacy legislation to make sure that when a customer comes to their website, our software will automatically know where they're coming from and then adapt to the current data privacy legislation based on their location. And also too, not only is our software smart, but also we are too. So we're always communicating with our clients. So it's not just a computer software, bye, you'll see you later, we don't have to deal with you anymore. No, it's more like we're always being in close communication of everything that's changing with a business, because as a business, they're always evolving, they're always changing, they're expanding in new areas, their marketing strategies are changing, they're maybe capturing data a little bit differently, and that's where they come to us, where they ask us questions to make sure that they're still in compliance so that they could avoid those financial penalties and lawsuits. And then we give them advice and update our software accordingly to make sure that they're always in compliance. It's not a point in time compliance, it's like a forever in compliance as long as they're constantly communicating with us. So that's why all our clients are long-term relationship clients, because you know, all the variables are changing. You know, all the variables, environment, the business, the legislation, so many moving parts.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I'd like, you know, it's just overwhelming as soon as you say it. Privacy, data, laws, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd meltdown, I'd go shut down. That's just like, whoa. It's just, too hard basket for me.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of the agencies will audit some companies, and sometimes the companies don't have an audit trail. Yeah. And then they have to like manually go through their paperwork and show proof. And how long is that going to take? And how long is that going to take you away from running the primary part of your business? Yeah. When our system audits everything and keeps track of everything, where you have an audit trail, it's called system of record, the same thing as saying an audit trail. So if somebody comes and questions you, you have everything in place in the system and you can say, this is proof. There you go. Voila, I'm done.
Okay. So in my head, it's just like you're dealing with my tax. It's the same sort of thing, right? So you're just taking the headache away and just sorting it all out. That's where I've just put it in. Tax time here in Australia, so that's just what it just triggered. So along your journey along the way with it evolving and growing and learning and changing, what do you think, with everything that you've experienced so far, would be your 3 top tips in life for people? That what you've learned, 3 top things.
Oh yeah, the one thing, it's always posted on my wallpaper on my desktop, on my laptop. The one thing I always look at every day, just because I had to go through it every day as I was trying to struggle through figuring out what I wanted to do, is it's like ingrained in my head. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. Like if you're comfortable, I mean, it's cool that if you're comfortable, that's a good thing, like on vacation or whatever. But like in terms of wanting to progress on a professional level, like if you want to move forward, like you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions 100%. In order to improve upon what you were the day before. Yeah. And that's like kind of like my mentality every day is, every day is a new day and every day is an unknown. And I like that because I know that I'm going to be uncomfortable in certain situations, whether it's at a networking group, whether it's talking to somebody I don't know, a stranger, and I deal with that every day.
Yeah.
So I know that it's making me a better person every day because I'm getting better at adapting to different personalities as I talk to them. So that's one thing. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone, and take yourself outside the comfort zone so you could just be better than you were the day before. So that's like literally the number one thing that's always in my head.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, and number two is the healthy lifestyle. I mean, this already, but like a constant in my life is basically being aware of everything that I put into my body, everything that I'm thinking, all my stress, all the activities that I'm doing in order to get outside of that stress. Like for me, like cooking, going out for a run, like you have to find what makes you not think about like work or all your stresses. It doesn't have to be like me running or cooking or hiking or whatever. It could be cleaning your house or whatever, or walking with a friend. Like I do that too sometimes. And you have to find that activity where you can move around that you like doing. And there's no one activity that's the best. No. Like after you're done with that activity, if it makes you forget some of your stresses in life, that's a great activity.
Exactly, whatever can get you to turn off, right? And
whatever could get your brain from stopping to having that monkey mind of thinking all your stresses in life. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And number three, what would be your third sort of thing?
Number three, I was trying to think as I was talking about those two, like, because those two are the top ones. Number three.
Right. We can leave it at that.
Number three is I think number three is always take the time to get to know other people or try to get to know a new person. You don't have to do it every day, but like try to have an interaction with people on a daily basis. Because in COVID, like we were shut down, and a lot of people had some mental issues due to being alone or whatever. So we're naturally social animals, and I never thought that when I was growing up. I always like being to myself or whatever. But now, like, I see the effect. When we were in COVID, I was on lockdown, and I was like, wow, this really blows that I can't talk to me. I was on Zoom or whatever, but like being with a person face to face is a whole lot different, and having like a moment of some sort, like makes a big difference. So, always keep attached to your social life, your friends, your family. All the people that are, supporting you to do better, not get yourself away from all the negative people.
It's so important, Brandon. And as you probably realize, I'm in Melbourne, and we were the most locked down city in the world, right? And it's the mental health effects, and still now there's a lot of PTSD. So having that, and expanding your network of people, which is what we do through networking, but not yourself isolated. As you said, we're social beings. And so we need to be around people, and there's, the energy of being around a person as opposed to through the screen. Yes, this is good, but nothing beats touch, right? The physical touch, the vibe that you can feel from people. It's interesting when you said about that line that you say, because when I was looking up your bio and a bit about you, everywhere it says all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. And one of my favorite sayings is you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's where change happens. Otherwise you stay the same. And then what's your life going to look like if it stays the same? Well, yours would be very different to now if you just stayed the same. It's like, and not talking to anyone. You'd be this little
if I never made that move, I think I would have been really miserable, and I would have just I'm glad that I took all these different chances and risks or whatever. And my dad always plays sports, and he always has a saying about like only winners take risks. That's not true, but he made it to the extreme, like because he's always a big risk taker. And I'm like, you know what, I guess I took some of that influence from him and applied it to myself in terms of quitting my job and finding something that I really like doing, and taking a lot of risk and finally getting the reward. And so it's just coming to fruition.
Fantastic.
So I guess partly what he said is kind of true.
Very, very empowering, but it does take balls, basically.
Yes.
You've got to pull up your big boy undies and, take that risk. Go, take that first step. That's all it is. Just take the first step and never look back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in line with that, over time you've done so much. What do you think? What are the key things that you kind of let go of? Have you stepped up and become more of yourself? We've kind of touched on it anyway, but and letting go. There's been so many things. What's sort of the main thing that you've let go of?
Oh yeah, I could already being self-conscious about how I'm talking in public,
All
or
right.
talking to other professionals on a professional level, because it's different when you're talking to family and
Yeah.
friends. It doesn't, you don't think twice at all about it. But when you're talking to professionals, or when you're talking in public to professionals, I was always like judging myself, and I felt like I was holding myself down in terms of them seeing the true me of who I am, the essence of who I am, my excitement, my exuberance, or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I really got over myself when I was going through that sales and marketing class, and we had to get up in front of class. It was all through Zoom, but
Yeah.
we had to practice cold calling with the professor, and the professor would act like a potential customer, and they would act difficult. And I had to navigate that while other students were looking at me, and we all had to go through it. So it was very nerve-wracking. And at a certain point, I was like, F it, screw it. I'm just gonna go through it. And if he screws me up, if he throws me for a loop, oh well, what am I gonna do? Like, what's the worst gonna happen, right? Like
thing. Yeah, right.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like they won't see you on the other line. Who cares? Like, and once that kind of clicked in me, I started getting better. And it was a matter of like practicing more and gaining more confidence, and practicing with our
Yeah.
cohorts on the side outside of class. So I think that was something that was really challenging to me, that I didn't like doing. But I always thought about my quote, all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. And I was not going to let that defeat me. And I was going to keep on going to get better at it. And every day I deal with that. Every day I'm talking to new people that I've never talked to. And so I like that I'm actually, I'm actually living up to the quote that's literally on my desktop. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone, because it's reminding me every day that I'm not going to back down from the things that I think that are uncomfortable. I have to go through it, push through, get better,
And it gets easier, right? It just gets easier as your self-confidence, as it increases, and you're just sitting with that resilience and that strength and that empowerment, and then it just becomes natural, because you're in flow. You're being your authentic self. You're being your genuine self. You're letting go of other people's judgments, expectations. You're just being you and being okay with being you. It's just beautiful to see, because that just shines through, totally shines through. Absolutely. So, I mean, that's, hang on, I'm going to cough. Hang on one second.
It's all right.
Sorry. Here we go again. Sorry about that. So that leads into my next question, which is in line with those. What, at the end of the day, are you most passionate about? Absolutely.
Okay. I think you probably have an idea. You probably might have an idea based on what we've already talked about. Actually, the two most things that I'm passionate about are connecting with people, whether it's even at work or on a personal level, like social level, professional or social, it doesn't matter. Connecting with people, having a good conversation about anything, travel, food. Those are my things, in culture. Those are the things that I'm really passionate about. I haven't been able to travel since, I want to say 2017. I went to Canada, Vancouver Island. And before that, I went to Australia, New Zealand, Greece. But I've been on a standstill, and I definitely want to go to more places. And I want to go back to Australia, because I have some people that I know in Australia, like you and a whole bunch of other people. So,
Ian,
huh?
When were you last in Australia?
Oh, probably 2012. I just went to Sydney and Cairns. So it was a week ago.
Right. Yeah, well, we've got the Commonwealth Games coming up, I don't know, a couple of years, and so much to, come back out.
Yes, I do. I know so many people in Australia now, like Ian and you.
Yeah, and all my friends.
Yeah,
for sure. So, I mean, that passion of just connection.
Oh, and I wanted to say the passion, I want to complete that, is bringing people together with food outside of work. So I like cooking. So I like, setting up things with friends and be like, hey, let's have a potluck. Everybody make something.
Yeah.
Some of my friends don't know how to cook. So I said, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Make whatever you can or bring whatever, a drink or whatever. And I like bringing people together with food and spirits.
Yeah.
And I really like cooking a lot. So for a lot of people.
Man,
And
hurry up and get over here. Barbie, you can do it. It's so European, bringing everybody together, that whole sort of family vibe and sitting around
yeah.
and talking. And, you know, that's what we've all missed, particularly through COVID.
Yes,
That,
definitely.
connecting with people. And it's not about, it's just having that vibe, right? Where you're relaxed and you're just making them up. Yeah, definitely come out. Hurry up. I'll provide the venue. You just get here. No, that's really, really, really so cool. So, you know, just down the track, what sort of legacy would you like to leave? Interesting question.
I really just want to be remembered as a person who doesn't give up and who tries to improve daily and wants to surround himself with others that push him to be better each day with their support and their knowledge, because I want to continue to surround myself with other smart people that are smart in different areas, because it allows me to dive into their mind so that I could, you know, somehow get some of that knowledge as well, and that they exchange that knowledge with me so they get better as well. So like, I'm just a person that's always trying to learn new things from other people through communication. And that's why I do my job, because I'm a curious person that wants to ask questions and get answers from people that, you know, they might know a lot more than I do, or they might know a lot more in a certain topic that interests me that I don't know about, and that intrigues me, and I'll ask tons of questions like a little kid. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So a person that's always wanting to learn more from other people. Yeah. Rather than, I like book learning too, but like socializing and learning from other people, joking and jokes. It doesn't matter what topic. Like, I'll talk about everything and anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. We are so similar. It's ridiculous. I'm like a sponge, always learning and growing every day. You know, I'm adding value to myself by what have I learned, grown from, and, you know, what experience, what have I learned from other people. So it's so important to expand yourself, right? So your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience daily. It's just like,
yes,
life's too short, and we need to be having fun throughout the process. When you were just mentioning jokes, you know, that's one of my big things. Like, one passion of mine is preventing illness down the track, and the other one is having happiness along our journey, right? So you know, let's combine
it. One thing I really like learning from people is when I go to different countries, I like learning the particular slang in that area and all the phrases. And today Ian said something about punching some Z's, and I was laughing. I knew what it meant, because I knew a lot of English people will say Z, and that's Z. So that meant he's going to sleep or whatever. And I really like that phrase, punching some Z's.
Well, that goes in line with hitting the sack. So it's probably the same thing. It's just going to be.
Yeah, but I like all the common phrases that people in that particular culture or that country use. So I like picking.
Well, come to Australia, you'd be here for years.
Yeah.
Got to get on top of them all.
Yes.
So finally, look, great conversation. How can people get in contact with you? Is it best through LinkedIn or?
LinkedIn is probably the best, because I'm always doing a lot of research on LinkedIn. I'm connecting with people on LinkedIn professionally and socially or whatnot. So that's probably the best one.
Yeah, and
LinkedIn for sure.
Drake, that one.
Yeah, Brandon Robert Drake. That's right.
And I'll put it in the post anyway. So yeah. Oh, Brandon, your energy is amazing. You really are exuberant and very exciting, and, you know, vibrant and all that sort of stuff. And I can't thank you enough for coming on today and having a chat about your life journey and some of your tips and what you've experienced and what you can impart knowledge to us. So, you know, really fascinating guy. Like, you're so young but done so much. Do you know what I mean? And you just growing and growing. But it's all attitude, it's all mindset, and everything's a choice. And you chose to be this person that you are today, you know, and keep expanding and be positive and be grateful and all the good stuff, right? Focus on the positives, not on the negatives. You just exude that. You're walking your talk, right? And always getting yourself uncomfortable. What's your line again? Let me just bring it up here. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone.
Yes.
That sums up you.
It's my mantra. That's the mantra.
Yeah, daily one. And, I encourage a lot of my clients to just have these daily mantras and, for what they're going through, to encourage them. I have mine on my screensaver. I'm not going to show you what it is, but it keeps me on track every day. It gets me rebalanced, refocused, regrounded, right? To start my day in a positive light and get my intention right. So, I'm all about energy, shifting and lifting energy to create positive change in your life. So that's, with same but different, coming from different aspects.
Yes, I'll have to talk to you on the side to learn more about all the things that you do as well. So I can't wait to do another one-on-one.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you again, Brandon, for coming on. Cool. And I look forward to seeing you again probably next week at HNP.
Yes, for sure.
Later. Bye.
All right, goodbye.